Hello everybody, welcome back to the Malbeefance channel. I apologize for my voice. Been overextending myself with different games and things like that, and that week or so off that I've taken, well, I haven't fully recovered. But I wanted to get a video out, and I just wanted to do something real simple and silly just to get it out there, just to have a video published without too long of a delay in between. So I apologize for my voice. So here's something just a little different, just a little silly. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it. And most of you probably already know this game. It's called Plants vs. Zombies. And now this is the original. It's had a number of upgrades in the series. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the game, it's a tower defense game. The idea is that you got to stop the undead creatures from getting across your lawn and into your house, or they'll eat your brains. So I went ahead and I set up something real simple here, and I'll try and keep you advised of the strategy as I go. So I'll make it a little bit of a challenge for myself by going with day hard. Now it lets you know these are the type of zombies that you're going to encounter for those of you that are unfamiliar with the game. So you have your standard zombies who I gave mustaches to. That is a thing that you can unlock as you go through the game. Okay. And so the regular zombies, they take about 10 points of damage before they drop. Then you'll get traffic cone zombies. The traffic cone supposedly helps them absorb some of the damage, so it takes longer to knock them down. And then the bucket head zombies is just the cone head zombie on steroids, even more damage resistant. So you choose which plants you're going to use. So you have to use the sunflower in order to get sun. That's how you're able to do anything, is with collecting sun. And so I'll go ahead and I'll take the kernel pulp. He shoots corn kernels that do 1 point of damage. And then randomly he'll throw a stick of butter, which stops a zombie in their tracks. And then the cabbage pulp, it does 2 points of damage when it fires. They're slower than the pea shooters, so they're kind of equal. But the reason I like to take those is because you've got zombies that have shields, things that they use for shields like screen doors, and these guys bypass that. So then the spikeweed, and then its upgrade. Okay, so the spikeweed does damage as the creatures walk across it, but it can only take 1 point of damage and then it's destroyed. Whereas its upgrade, it can take 9 blows before it goes. And I'll show you how the strategy works out there in the placement. So then the tall nut works as a wall, and then the pumpkin is something that you can put on anything to help defend it. It's like a shield. Now the imitator, I normally have the imitator imitate the pumpkin, so that way I can deploy those twice as fast. Then finally the starfruit, and I'll show you how that works, because it fires from all 5 points, so it can fire backwards, up and down. And then finally the squash as my stopgap. If somebody breaks through and I need something to stop them because they're through my lines of defense, that's where the squash comes in. All right, so let's rock. Hopefully you guys find this humorous. All right, ready, set, plant. So now it's going to be a couple of seconds before the first zombie shows up. So the idea is to try and plant as many sunflowers as I can. That way I'm getting as much sun as possible before the festivities begin.
The zombies are coming.
Alright, so now I just hold up and wait for the next guy to see where he's coming in at so that I can go and deploy the cabbage pulp. And now basically what I'm going to try and do is put out one sunflower for every shooter that I got to put out. So once again, I'm just waiting to see where the next guy comes in at so that I can block him. Now the number that show up gets faster with every moment. So see, he threw the butter and it stops him in his tracks. Now I really don't need to collect the coins because I'm already maxed out the maximum that you can get in the game. So here comes our first conehead zombie. Now normally the cabbage pulp won't do enough damage to stop him, so that's why I've got the kernel pulp, because he'll throw, as long as he throws one butter, that's all I need to stop the conehead zombie. Alright, so that's all of my sunflowers, and I'll upgrade them as the game goes. There's a double sunflower that you can put out. Now you can see down here the marker, how long until the level's done, and these flags represent when a large wave of zombies is going to hit. And that's why I'm rushing to get these out as quickly as I can. So now the walnuts will stop, or the tall nuts will stop the zombies right there, and they'll be standing on the spikes. And unfortunately, force of habit, I keep clicking on the cones. Now you put the star fruit behind the tall nuts, and what they'll do is they'll shoot into these adjacent squares to help do more damage. Now there's my first buckethead zombie. Keep an eye on him and you'll see how much damage it takes before they bring him down. Now how quickly these recharge is based on how many of them you have out on the map. The more you have out, the slower they recharge, obviously. Now what I'm hoping to do before this wave ends is have all of my star fruit out. And then as many of my pumpkins and tall nuts as possible. And then I'll be upgrading the plants as we go. Okay, so that takes care of all the star fruit. Now hopefully I can get one more spike rod. Yep. So now this is an interesting diversion. It is a strategy game and it is goofy, but it's good for a laugh if you play the series, the story mode. The whole thing is good for a laugh. So that takes care of the second wave. So I got 2 flags. I got to collect 10. Now here's a guy that's a problem. These are things that you got to watch out for. This guy, this zombie is on a balloon and he's going to float over everything. And there is a plant that you can use to stop him. Excuse me. Now the guy with the pogo stick, he can jump over the regular walnuts, and that's where the tall nuts come in. Okay, so I'm going to pick the twin sunflower. This upgrades the regular sunflower. Instead of 1 sun, it'll deploy 2. Next, if I get the opportunity, I'll go ahead and put out the melon pulse. Now the melon pulse do a lot of damage. They do 3 points of damage, and then they also do splash damage to the square that is above and below where they hit. And then the melon pulp, or the watermelon, winter melon, what that is an upgrade to the melon pulp, and what it does is it freezes all the targets that it hits, and then it also does splash damage to either side. And I'll show you where they come in really, really handy. So I still need to put out a couple of the spike rocks. I still got to put 2 of those out, so I need to upload that plant. And then, as always, my blockers. Now, the cactus is the guy that can stop the balloon zombie. Okay. There is another, but right here, the cattail, but you need water. You need a pool in your yard to be able to put him out there. All right, so we'll go back to the squash as a stopgap, and then the jalapeno. When the jalapeno detonates, it will kill all zombies in the entire row that it's in. And so if I don't get the balloon zombie with the cactus, I can use the jalapeno as a last stopgap. All right, so before deploying anything else, deploy a twin sunflower.
The zombies are coming.
That's going to take the longest to recharge. Now, which column I'm putting these guys in is also part of the strategy. Stop going after the coins. They are distractions. So this pumpkin is weakening. And that's usually why I have the 2 here, because I can go ahead and I can keep expanding defenses in the back while saving the instant pumpkin to put on the front line when I need. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but the imitator, it requires a couple of seconds before it becomes whatever I need. Alright, so I've got all the cactus out. I can go ahead and I can replace him. Now hopefully I can get a melon pulp out. Stop clicking. Sorry, it's force of habit. So now with the huge wave coming, you should see some of the balloon zombies. And there they go, so they extend up and they shoot down the balloon zombies. eventually I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the winter melon on top, and that does the same job as the corn pole if it was throwing butter. See how long it's taken the winter melon recharge. Okay, so now with two of these guys here, they're going to freeze everybody here, and that's going to help defend my pumpkins a little bit better. They won't get chewed up as quick. So at this point, it becomes player's choice how you want to expand the melon pole line, whether you want to start at the bottom, work your way up, start at the center, whatever. But I'll go ahead and I'll do these two first, because now I've got two winter melons, and they cover the entire front line with their effect. All right, so here's the reason. The Zamboni is the reason why I need the spike rocks, because they're going to drive onto the spike rocks and it'll destroy him, but it does damage to the spike rocks, and luckily the spike rock will be able to take 9 hits before it goes away. So now the dancing zombie presents a problem in that he calls up backup dancers that wind up getting through my defenses if I'm not quick about it. All right, so we're not done with upgrading the sunflowers. We're not done with upgrading the melon pulse. Because these guys are going to be coming, I'm going to need my spike plants back in order to repair any damage. As always, my blockers. And then, now this is going to be rough. Because what I want to do is that empty column that I've got, let me show you. This empty column here, usually what I will do is I will put out the magnet shroom, and you need the coffee bean in order to wake it up. This plant is normally nocturnal. It's only active at night, okay? So you need to give it a coffee bean in order to wake it up. And what it does is it'll pull the helmet off of the football zombie, and that reduces his defense. It'll also grab anything else made out of metal, like the zombie on the pogo stick. It'll pull their pogo stick. There is a zombie that has a jack-in-the-box that if the jack-in-the-box is able to pop up, it'll explode and it'll wipe out everything in like 6 squares all around it. Very devastating. So I'm like, okay, so do I hold off, or do I get my my siege defenses? So let's go ahead. Oh, another thing that the Zamboni does is he leaves an ice trail behind him, and the only way to get rid of the ice trail is to use the jalapeno. If he leaves that trail over any of these squares, I am not able to replant anything until I get rid of that ice trail. So that's why I need him. All right, so let's rock. Excuse me.
The zombies are coming.
put him here. It was not my intention to put him in this column. I did mean to put him in this column. There is a reason for it. Hopefully I won't have to show you. Where is he? Oh, he got wiped out before he can call his backup dancers. If you've ever seen Thunderdome, there is a character in Thunderdome called Master Blaster. And there's a zombie like that in this game. It's a huge... There's my first Zombitron, Zamboni. Master Blaster type zombie, what it can do is it can take the small guy riding on its back and it can throw it past my defenses and it'll land right in between here. So that's why my second line of defense companies goes down that line. Okay, so now you can keep track of the damage on your spike rocks by how many spikes they've got on. Wasn't as bad as I thought. So yeah, so they've taken at least 3 points of damage. They're down a spike. All right, there he is. There's the Gargantar, the Master Blaster zombie, and that's the little guy he can throw. So now they've really got me in a bind because they're also sending the catapult zombie. Now this is another reason why I go ahead and I put the pumpkins all the way on the back line as soon as possible, because that's who he's going to hit. He's going to be aiming for the sunflowers on the back line there. Grrr. Yeah, they've really got me stuck in a bind here because I need to get the magnet shrooms out. Now, just have to risk it. Oh man, 4 all at once. So in case you hadn't already figured it out, the zombies that you get attacked with from wave to wave are pretty much random, with the exception of the very first wave. Throws the guy. All right, so this is the last wave, or the last screen, 2 more waves. And once again, see, here's the guy right here. The digger zombie is the threat that I need these guys to defend against more than anything else.
The zombies are coming.
Okay, so that was a plant that I didn't collect. So now those plants, when they pop up like that, you can use them in your garden to help collect nurturing and growing them to get money. I know I don't need the money, but it's force of habit. I keep collecting for plants. All right, Alright, so this is my normal defense right here, the way it's set up. So the digger zombies, if they're not stopped, okay, you can see this guy going. There's nobody to stop him. Okay, they did at the last second. Because it takes a minute for these guys to get rid of whatever it is they collected, in this case the pick. So if he wasn't stopped, he'd have made it all the way back here, came up, spun around, and would have started working his way this way, wiping out my plants. Hence the reason for the star fruit, shoot backwards. This is it. And there we go. Come on, drama queen. There we go. All right. So, goofy little game, but it's good for a laugh. It's kind of fun. Contrary to popular belief, it is a strategy game. So yeah, and there's my plant that I got. Let's see what he is. So yeah, so you water them, and you get money. And it takes a couple of seconds, but he'll want more water. Sooner or later, they're either going to want to get sprayed with bug spray, or they're going to want fertilizer, and then it'll level up. Best way to say it. Usually it takes 3 to 5 waterings. So that was 3. There's 4. And come on with the 5. Oh, okay, it's going to be more than 5. The game knows I'm recording, wants me to, I want to get through this quickly. There we go. All right, so that's going to be a potato mine. So yeah, so it works like a landmine, only it looks like a exploded baked potato when it goes off. All the plants are kind of funny. All right, so like I said, I was just doing this as a test on my throat and my sound system. I've been having some issues with the sound system where the audio, not me, but any music or special effects, sound effects playing in the background, they will have a echo to them. And I haven't been able to figure out how to stop that. So I've been playing around with the audio controls a little bit, and hopefully I've finally figured it out. And we'll see what happens. I can't know ahead of time because, as I mentioned in a previous episode way back when, what you see on YouTube is not the same thing that I see and hear on my computer, and I don't know why that is. Okay, but I'll sit here, I'll record, and I'll go and I'll use my playback feature, and everything will look fine. And then I'll go ahead and I'll upload it to YouTube. And for whatever reason, the audio has now changed. The video is now grainier or choppy, and I can't. I just have no idea why it does that. But I just keep playing around with my settings until I get something close to presentable, and then throw it up there. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Sorry about the delay. Like I said, it's just I've been doing too many games on the short little bit of time that I've got off. There's a tabletop RPG that I'm doing, and then I was trying to run the strategic command games, um, and then another one of the Fallout games, doing some training videos on that. So I wound up burning myself out, burning my throat out pretty good, my vocal cords. So I needed that break. Hopefully I'm better. I'm going to try and get another video out. I was thinking of actually doing Strategic Command World at War. It's a huge game. One turn's going to take like a 45-minute to an hour video. You guys know I don't like doing videos that long for the vocal cord reason. But I've had some requests for it, so I'm seriously thinking of going that route. All right, well, that's enough BS from me. Thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, leave a like, drop a comment, help spread the channel, and I will see you on the next one.